Hello, world. Dorothy Dottie or Dot. My name comes with options, and I am a homeless caregiver. How I got to be a homeless caregiver, I'm sharing my story. So, today is chapter 4. I was not able to work, I was not able to have a job. April 28, 2021 is when my mom got hit. And that first summer was so hard, trying to take care of her out of the hospital when she got home from the hospital, and it's working at the same time, a full-time job at the same time. It was rough. And I was able to keep that full-time job for almost a whole year after her accident. January 2022 is when I did leave, and I got a part-time job so that I could take care of mom a little bit better, but still have some income at the same time. So, but I got a part-time job at a high school cafeteria, and even 4 hours a day wasn't enough. Found mom had hurt herself when I was gone at work one day, so I just made the decision it's not good for her to be by herself, and because it wasn't. So I had to finish that school year out, and I told the kitchen manager I couldn't come back the next year. So we were struggling. I was struggling with being able to pay bills, to pay rent, and obviously with not having reoccurring income regularly like that, the car that I did have, it got repossessed, of course, because I wasn't able to make payments on that anymore. So was without a car again, and was having troubles with paying rent. So when I had gone back to the church that I'd grown up in, they were able to help with paying my rent just a couple of times. And there was a woman there that did help me with getting things started, like trying to apply for food stamps, trying to apply for disability for my mom. And so she helped me with taking me to those offices so that I could, get some kind of assistance with taking care of mom. And that really helped a lot. I had even made a GoFundMe page to help with paying bills, and I had a lot of friends that helped me reach those GoFundMe goals so that I could pay rent and still have a place to stay while I was taking care of mom, trying to figure out, income while I wasn't able to work because mom needed that much attention. So, because during this time, she's always in pain. Instead of being paralyzed, she feels everything all the time. She has chronic nerve pains from that brain injury. So during these times, I am doing CNA work, even though I'm not working and I'm receiving help from the church and other things like GoFundMe. I am doing CNA work for my mother. Since I didn't really have health insurance and I didn't have any other means to taking to her to a doctor to get her, pain relief help, I was the one that was for every day, almost all day long, 8+ hours every single day. I was giving her physical therapy, like massage therapy, working out the knots that build up in her back every single day from the pain. My knuckles are worn from how much I have given her massages just to try to work out all those knots that were in her back. And it's in her feet, it's in her legs. Her sciatic nerve drives her crazy every single day, and she's crying in pain every day. And I'm sitting there every day giving her physical therapy, massage therapy. I tried finding medicated lotions to help calm her nerves, soothe her skin, and things like that. And it does actually help. doing that every day did help a lot to provide a little bit of relief for her, but it wasn't enough to take it completely away. But as long as I kept it up, it did help her a lot. So that's what I was doing every day while I didn't have a job, taking care of her in between those times because she needed that much help. But what really helped us get through the majority of those times, especially after that first year, my grandmother, my granny, her mother, my mom's mom had February 2022 was diagnosed with stage 4 abdominal cancer. And she didn't last very long. She passed away in June of 2022. The cancer was very aggressive. So sometime in between that, she did go and get set aside an inheritance for my uncle and for my mother. So when my grandmother passed away, she had set aside an inheritance. And when we received that, that's what we lived off of for at least half a year to a full year that's how we lived. We were able to pay bills and survive because I wasn't able to get a job at that point. I couldn't. Mom needed that much attention, and I was still trying to figure out what I need to do in order to get reoccurring income so that I can take care of her. So was going through all the things that I needed to do. As I said, I had my friend from the church help me get to DCFS, their offices, to apply for disability and everything like that. And I've been trying to be her paid caregiver. We finally got her disability, but that definitely took a while. But those first few months after I had left my job, it was rough trying to make sure that she was okay. Her injuries were being met, as well as trying to pay bills without a job. But we were provided for. We were fine. But it was nothing compared to what was coming next, because my mom still wasn't getting like help from a hospital. Everything that she was getting was just from me. And while she was becoming more mobile, she's able to walk again and everything else like that, but her mental injuries were starting to catch up to her. And that's when things were starting to really, really take a turn. Things were getting harder once her concussion was starting to go down. But post-concussion, she was experiencing some symptoms. She was experiencing a lot of mental health episodes. And that started in September of 2022. And that's a whole another chapter to have to explain. So in chapter 5, next time I make a video, I will be explaining the first mental health episode that my mom had due to her concussion, her brain injury, because that was where things started getting really rough. But I was not able to work because it was just not easy to leave her alone. It wasn't safe for her, and it was better to have someone there to keep an eye on her, to make sure that she was going to be safe, not hurt herself, be able to have food and things like that. But it was rough, but not as nearly as rough as what was coming up. But that's chapter 5. And until then.